Hello! Hi, hello. I didn't forget that 5 minutes is up before that song ends. It's not my fault. I've only done this 60 times with this music. 20 on average, there's 3 videos. Hi! Hello Chibi, hello Kira. How are we doing? Like you know. Oh, it was a minute long! My introduction was a minute long! Can you ever forgive me? Hi. No worries, all the worries. Constant worry. That's my brand. How's everybody doing? It's Tuesday, as far as I'm aware. So, yeah. Is everybody's week getting off to a fantabulous start? That was the this little might of I can't speak. Was the this little light of mine fact up earlier? This was not worth finishing that sentence. This little slide of I'm gonna let it. You drew Jindosh. You did. You drew a good Kieran. Was that today? My sense of time is just completely disintegrating. This little side of mine, I'm gonna let it see. It's not as catchy, really, is it? So yeah, welcome to what is probably the last 16 symbols stream. All of the symbols have been uncovered at this point. The entire story has been revealed. It only remains for us to work out how the story ends. There's a Christy. Hi, Christy. You have to draw Kieran at least once a year. That's like me with the outliers. I want to draw them a lot, but I only ever draw them once a year. Next year. Otherwise you'd be murdered by Clockwork Soldiers. Ah, okay. I'll just be murdered by Mal. How you doing, Christy? You alright? We have yet to start, because I'm bad. Yes. To be fair, Mal is far scarier. I mean, can be. But he can also be a lot nicer, so... If he likes you. You munch yourself at the time while you went, ah! I like the idea that she just came in and said what the time was. Doesn't actually say what the time is. Just, thank you for not starting and being bad. Hooray! For once in my life, my negligence pays off. Okay, so, stream. Well, the stream usually starts with a whole lot of waffling and then some recap. So, frame man, it's not on my end this time. I dropped 59 frames, but I don't think that's really, you probably wouldn't notice that over the course of the last 10 minutes. So I think that's on Twitch's end. Gonna have to blame Twitch man. And if frame man is not under my control, Twitch man certainly isn't. Twitch man, it's a bit early, don't you think? Although I do like the idea of you saying, Frame man, it's a bit early, don't you think? And then we just pan over to Frame man, who's just drinking martinis by the poolside. Martini of frames just glitching out every time he takes a sip. Frame man would like inscription, I think. Anyway, this isn't an inscription stream. Neither of those things. It is 16 symbols, so let us get the things ready so that it can actually appear on screen and not look glitchy. Hooray! Wonderful. There's a miss! Hello! I do want to draw some nice pictures of Frame Man. I like their design, it's very simple. And they have style. So yeah, it's probably the last stream. Look at our big team up there. I never did do a nice picture of Poison Nurse, did I? One day, I want to do proper renders of all the characters at some point, and then proper renders of all the bosses. And then the sort of, and possibly also a video designing typical JRPG style weapons that get like stronger and stronger as the game goes on, but for whatever weapons our characters have. So many future video ideas, I know, just too much stuff, not enough time. How are you doing, miss? You alright? Is the loopiness subsiding a little bit? Always feels... oh, hello. You have about 8.5 sketches out of 13 or 14 done. Marvellous. That's over halfway. And you're hoping to have 3.5 more done by this weekend. Storyboarding takes a while. Your Fantasia doesn't exactly help, of course not. But once you have everything storyboarded, you feel better and be able to pick up your pace. We're getting a new washer and dryer this weekend because they're finally dying. Oh no! We were just talking about that the other day, how we've been through like 3 washing machines in 10 years. It's like... No, 4. 4. Yeah, we're on our 4th. That really is a big machinery. It should be made... to be slightly more reliable than that. That's been your week so far, yeah? Sorry, miss. Oh, you're welcome? I'm not entirely sure. Do I have to add that to my little bot? Everybody hydrate, posture, get up, stretch, get your meds. And on that note, you're welcome. What happened last time? Okay, so I'll go to the time before to actually give some sort of context. We're in the final area of the game. We went to get some crystals for the machine so that we can... Once we freed all the magic... I guess I should probably explain from the start. The world is populated by magical creatures. All that magic has been drained and absorbed by a giant cosmic shrimp. We don't know how to deal with that, but we have found that some crystals are very good at focusing the power to bring people back to magic life. So we went to get a bunch of crystals. Protagonist's mentor appears in a portal and goes, I need your help. And we go to the void, because the end of these games always happen in a weird wibbly-wobbly void. It's here that frank discussion is had about who Grandma Bonk actually is or was. Their sort of reputations, depending on who you ask, and who Mo is in relation to that, and Mo possibly being an heir to the goddess lineage. We'll fix it in post. The loopiness has not subsided. Oh no. Anyway, some goop attacks, and Grandma Bonk ropes us into fighting. However, she does so in such a manner that does not gel well with the synergy that our group has found so far. And people end up getting hurt because Grandma Bonk thinks she knows better, etc., etc. And eventually, this is the last stream, Grandma Bonk realizes, you know what? This ain't working out. I should have done this last time when I annihilated the shrimp god. Didn't do it fully, otherwise I would have annihilated myself as well. Let's just do it properly this time. Because... you know, meddling in the destruction that my meddling in human affairs has wrought, not been great. So she goes thwomp and flum into the big ball of goop, thus deteriorating the defenses of this eldritch being that we have come to apparently fight. And it reveals itself to be a horrible mass of blobs and bits and bobs. And we fight a horrible mass of blobs and bits and bobs. And then the big ball of goop expands and engulfs us all into pitch darkness. And then slowly but surely holes appear in the blob, letting light in, and we start to see the vague silhouette of the creature itself that we have come to slay. And it is Shwimp. This is a shrimp god. And its final boss. Hooray! Shwimp! I'm looking forward to rendering this one. Just as a reminder, for the sense of scale, this is the party down here. As you can see, there's like Gil, and there's Mo and Brad. Poison Nurse is over there. There's Wick down there. Onion. And this is the boss. So yeah, we've come to this thing, and we've realised that this thing that was sort of wreaking havoc and destruction and so on and so forth is not malicious. It's not trying to destroy anything. It's just beyond us and curious. It doesn't know what it's doing. It doesn't know what hurt is. It doesn't understand mortality or anything like that. It's just seeing what's going on. And so I think we decided that we were going to fight this thing, but it doesn't die. We can just release the energy that it has pent up, and then we can sort of trap it inside an actual shrimp. And then it can just swim around as a shrimp for a bit. And that's as far as we got. And then, after this final boss, I was honestly hoping there'd be a boss rush in this. I thought there was. I remember when I was sifting them out, I was sort of like, oh, it'd be good if there was a boss rush in the final column. Apparently not. Did we only have one boss rush? Oh no, we had a couple. Can't remember what they were. Oh no, this was like the Schrodinger goop rush. And this was stuff. I remember. Anyway, and that's as far as we got. Now we have a mumbo jumbo. Mystical mumbo jumbo occurs, which I'm going to assume is energy release, magic returns to the world. We get back and oh, Schrodinger. Are you still in the story or not? It's difficult to tell. Jimmy's newest BB. I guess I have to do good renders of all of the characters, really, all the proper ones. A lot of characters. Should have been doing it as I go along, really, but here we are. I wanted to do it in the Avon Valley style, but I didn't. Yeah. So now there is a giant cosmic shrimp in front of us. Something mystical mumbo jumbo has to happen, and then the end cutscene, and that's it. That's it. That's 16 symbols. It doesn't end with a bang, but with a whimper. Or Shwimper, I should say. That should have been the name of the stream. Hang on, I'll change it. This is amazing streaming. I'm good at this streaming malarkey. Right, can never have enough trash babies. Yeah. Poisonous and Grigori standing back like, oh no, Jimmy, don't take our brother. Pushes the suitcases towards you. Oh, we have a coat. I think Ragdoll's. It's weird that we consider Ragdoll like, you know, the teacher that we've got to impress with our work, but at the same time, Ragdoll's the one that does homework. Yeah, I think pretty much all of Ragdoll's notes for this one was what we're gonna do in the rewrite. So that's coming up after this. For now, how does it end? That lost Schrodinger comes with a free cat, or does he? Maybe just half a cat. Cat's lost the back half. It's got a little set of wheels. I think Magic Mumbo Jumbo is going to be Shrimp becomes Tiny Shrimp. Indeed. Well, in that case, what I could do is cheat. Oops. And well, while I'm doing this, how is everybody's week going so far? Why is this not? There we are. Hope we're all having a lovely week. I'm trying to get anything done. Not been great productivity-wise, but these things happen. Shrimp bowl. So we have to have that classic, surprisingly epic boss disintegrates animation. I'm going to go with a big glowing thing because it's like normally goo, so it's sort of like. Like this. Well, this is a copy, yeah. But I had to make sure I wasn't destroying the original. I've done that enough times in these streams. This is just a quick reminder that literally every drawing I have done for these streams is in this file. Usually I have multiple files for these draw-throughs, as they get too big to really work with. But this one, it's still labelled part 1 to something. Okay, can I? Oh, eventually. Actually, I'm gonna want more than that. Go like that. Box, is that gonna be faster? Not really, no. Smoother. Your mum's helping you get your home back into shape, and you have a bedroom! Hooray! What? It's risky, it's very risky. Increasingly anxious mad every time Chris mentions the big file. We've also got the VODs, so if I ever want any of the pictures, they're there. Right, this is going to take approximately 7 hours, but you can see what it's trying to do. It's going shwoom as all of the magic rushes out and into the world. What I imagine, right, is that the 3 more characters I probably need to render. Dark's 3 characters for the 3 houses in Magma City, the 3 disciplines in Magma City. Boom! Probably came with us to get crystals, and when we went into the portal, they took the crystals back, and they're probably sorting out the machine, so we don't have to like let the magic out, then go back, then spend like an hour building the machine. I imagine that it's there ready to be activated or whatever. You're working on sketch number 10 while watching this. Sketch number 9 is on standby for now. Well, that makes this sketch number 9. Or are we using Doctor Who rules? Wibbly wobbly. Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. You're doing sketch number 9. No, you're now doing sketch number 9. The other one is the war sketch. Doctor Who rules. Yeah, so, fouche, magique, c'est magique. And it all rushes out and so on and so forth. And hang on, JRPG is not complete without obligatory do this in soft. That, and there's like there's bits of land and stuff. It's a planet, so there's like continents and all these sorts of things. You get the idea. I don't know. I'm assuming our planet in this game is a sphere. Might not be. I had a thought the other day. I heard somebody was like, the 4 corners of the Earth, and someone's like, the Earth's not flat, it's a sphere. I was like, well, it could be both. It could be, it doesn't have to be flat to have 4 corners. It could be a tetrahedron. And now I like the idea that the world is a pyramid. And it's got 4 corners and is 3D. Just know the 9th sketch you're working on is a collage of 10 or 11 little sketches. And that's not a sketch, is it? That will eventually be photographs on a corkboard or table or something. You currently have 6 photos sketched out and you need to think over the others. Yeah, I'm not going to consider that sketch number 9. I'm going to consider that sketch numbers 9.1 through 9.12. You're fine. Anywho. Sparkling. Also, the sky should probably have stars, shouldn't it? Like that, but funnily enough, can't see stars for a planet. It really is the 90s, every 90s movie. Shiny. No sparkles though, only destruction. Yeah, so this is Foom! This is the big Foom. And also autosave. The big Foom, all the energy from defeating Shrimp goes Foom like that. Maybe we get one of those things where it's like the energy blast just engulfs the party, and you're like, it's left unsure, at least for the beginning of the cutscene, whether or not anyone got out, and then it cuts to, you know, all of the mushroom people getting up, and the robots getting back up, and all that sort of stuff, and then it cuts to a month later, or whatever, and everyone's walking around and doing things, and so on and so forth, and we start panning to characters who, they made it out, it's great, it's fine. World IRL has the Big Bang, this world has the Big Foom. So we pan to like Brad and his bakery in the city helping people rebuild, and sort of everybody doing all their things. That feels very sort of end of an RPG. Oh no, did they make it? Did they make it out? Yes, they did. Everything's good. I'm quite pleased with how I did this quite quickly. There's not a lot going on. It's a hole in a sheet. Right, so I was going to do it swirling all around, and then I thought I'm going to ruin it. I like this. It's simple. We get the idea. Yeah, so if the rest of the stream left delivering bread to customers in costumes with a tray on the back, yes. So what I'll do, I can draw like little, hang on, what I'll do. Action split screen with the right color. We can see like see all the mushroom people waking up. We go around the world and all of the energy is I should probably draw. Yeah, I know what I can do. Sure it is, at least vaguely correctly. Obviously, all our characters are fine. Or they were fine because we did the whole machine thing, so... They were fine for the final battle, like Gil is already up and about and stuff like that. I'd like a little bit more, to think a little bit more about what Gil's whole deal is, as well. There's a lot that can be explored in this story. Whether or not we're going to do it, I don't know. Also, post-credit cutscene where Schrodinger finds his cat. There's probably going to be a lot of post-credits cutscenes. The credits are like 6 or 7 hours long. There's a lot of cutscenes happening during them. So I guess they're not post-credits really, are they? We still have about 90% of our characters still to figure out, yeah. Bramble to me is the one that's just like... I can kind of... Well, I was about to say I can kind of understand now how some characters in JRPGs get a little left behind in terms of their development. But no, I can't, because if you're writing a JRPG actually properly for release and you're doing it like we just did, then that's on you. That's... Can we see Viv turn back to normal with Boy? Can do. The magic is being released into the world. Anything can happen. The magic of plot convenience, which is magic, really, isn't it? That's just what magic is. Most magic is just that. To be honest, Viv might have been, like, turned largely back to normal when Shrimp God took all the energy in the first place, when the machine was activated. We haven't seen her since then. You know, her new form was created from that energy. Maybe once it was taken back, she reverted to normal. The question conveniently left unanswered. Conviviently. What? It's almost a joke. So it's been half an hour. I've already drawn more today than I have in the last 2 days. 2 days. I've already drawn in the last half hour more than I've drawn in the last 2 days. It's been, you know. I mean that in a celebratory way. Not in a, oh, woe is me sort of way. It's like, I know I still can, hooray! What I could do... Should I do this? Sure. It's like that, but it's the other way around. More sparklies. We can have over here. I guess if I've done that line, I don't need this line, do I? Somebody take Wick out of Grigori's pocket. Wick is already out of Grigori's pocket and has been woken up. They're in our party, see? We made sure I did that in here. And there's Wick having fun with Jethro's head and a bomb. Because I made sure when we put them in the machine that Grigori is elsewhere and Wick is up here. What's in this folder? Oh. Apparently I had overlays in this folder. I don't even know if you can tell the difference when I turn it on and off. Sure. Wick has teamed up with Onion. Oh no. I'm gonna regret this. But, you know, it's the last stream. Go for it. In my head, I know what this was going to look like. And my head lied. No, no fisheye. Not allowed to leave until you draw all the pictures. I've locked you into this. Anyway, thank you for coming along. After this, I never have to draw again. I'm not using the right pencil. I was using the soft brush. No wonder it looked awful. It has nothing to do with my drawing at all. You know what they say? A good workman blames their tools. A good workman blames and is the tool. That's what they say. There's some little crystals on things pointed in. And I'm imagining this is just full of crystals at this point. Imagine lots of crystals. Like that. That's what that looks like. And now I have to remember what these characters look like. What I will do is not remember, and I will just copy it and stick it in the corner. Me blames Jules. I'm drawing on the wrong layer. It's better. Always draw on the wrong layer. It's what professionals do. I thought professionals were always like naming their layers and stuff. Trying to avoid drawing on the same layer. Well, I personally think if you have to avoid drawing on the same layer to do a good job, then you're not a true professional. What is this L perspective? I told you I would regret it. I think it's kind of clear what's going on here. Aiming layers? What? Sounds fake. Honestly, there's a big berobed fellow in a bowler hat. Look at sort of standard chunky nose. I could have at least tried to make the thing on the floor make sense with the perspective. That's fine, whatever. Ogres have layers. Sorry, miss. We'll cycle through your 30 unnamed layers. I mean, I am currently drawing on layer 143, copy 2. I completely messed up that perspective, isn't I supposed to be going further inwards like that? Well, in my head, this could have been good. You can tag layers with a color, so if you want to associate a particular kind of layer with a certain color, you can. Yeah, I never use that. How do you do that? Is it there? Layer color, subcolor? Oh, you can't see that. You can do it, Jimmy! Jimmy is very happy with this news. 7 colors to choose from. Oh, exciting. See, I do that, but with the color of the thing on the canvas. Not that that's foolproof, but then again, neither's the layer. Little square next to layer stars. Oh, that one. Do not use palette color. Fine. If you're gonna be like that, Clip Studio, I won't. This is wonderful news. You know what else is wonderful news? I'm not doing that anymore, right? Gosh, this is a bad drawing. This is what you get for trying to do something with weird perspective. Honestly. Can't draw anything all day. I draw one thing and I'm like, I'm gonna try weird perspective! Like sparking and... crackling with energy. You just said add new layer and then toggle them on and off to work out what layer you're on. it's a very practical way of remembering. 1 second. It's November. Time for me to have to constantly blow my nose. Now I've got to draw a bunch of robots. Okay, hang on. I can use my old pictures as reference. It's fine. It's fine. Just prefer to go with me. It's fine. Here. Do you remember Orbit? The only robot I want to draw here is Orbit, so it's a bit of a waste of time. An orbit of a waste of time. Haha. You remember Orbit? They gave us a floppy disk to give to these guys to make this machine. It works. Also, I imagine this machine is like huge now and it's got like multiple layers and stuff. References are okay. I know they're okay. I should use them a lot more often, but I don't. Floppy disk. Oh no. Didn't have an old game on it, did it? Yeah. So smiley face. Yes, Dark keeps sending me ominous messages regarding Inscription. It's like, please. It's fine, don't worry about it. Although Dark did just... Dark's just like that, I know. Dark did point out something that I should have noticed. I really, really should have. Which is that, I guess spoilers. If you're avoiding Inscription spoilers, very, very minor spoiler. The version number of the game has changed. And I remember thinking when we first started the game, on the title screen, it says version 0.7. And I remember that. But I at no point remembered thinking, it's weird that this is version 0.7 and the game is released. And I should have thought that at some point, but I didn't. And now apparently it says version 1.3 or something. So I just remember reading 0.7 every time it booted up and not thinking anything. It's like, come on, brain, you're better than that. Stuff like that. I did notice that the title screen had changed. It was a different color, but didn't notice anything else. Inscription spoilers have ended. You may return. If anybody was avoiding it. I don't like spoiling things. It's so hard to find thumbnails for the VOD. for those streams that don't in any way spoil anything. It's really hard. Oopsie doodle. I want you to refer only to the editing layer. That's excessive. Why? Your tolerance is 26, that's probably why. I don't like it going over 3. Sure, I noticed any colour change. Well, to be fair, the thing that I noticed the colour change of was the very opening thing where it says Inscription. And usually, because of the way OBS is set up, you don't see that. Because every time I click back into the game, it skips it. So, these things happen. But yeah, that used to be red, dark red. Now it's sort of green. I mean, there have been changes, obviously, of the title screen, but those are more obvious, and we have mentioned them. And we shan't mention them again, because we're venturing back into spoiler territory. Hang on. Close enough. Something like that. Kind of works. Why can't I draw basic shapes? Come on, I can't even remember what orbit looked like. They look like this now, it's fine. Text has a fun bucket effect, yes. We're not talking about the duck moment. No. It was a goof. I just seem to remember there being a duck thing and I can't remember what it was. Maybe my brain is just making up memories at this point. It's entirely possible. Don't know if anyone else is having trouble with Twitch banners. Oh no! Quack. Oh, I might just be thinking of Sunday's stream. That's probably it. Yeah. Miss! Horse ghost pun. Go. You gotta scrub the VODs because your niece has been calling you a lot lately and it's always during stream time. Oh no. More robots. Robot. They're like gauges. Right, that's a clock, not a gauge. May or may not be a toaster. Oh yeah, what do we do with the toaster? If it helps, the best one I came up with during the stream was a thoroughbood. That was the best I got. So that's your baseline. The low bar. Oh, I thought we decided on the toaster being used to summon yeast god. Good, yes, it was an optional MacGuffin. I forgot about that. Like the lamp in 8. You heavily judged me for thoroughbood. As well you ought. If you're trying to get in touch with the dead jockey, you hold a neons. See, this is why we get missing. Extremely good value puns. Also, he's just a wonderful person. But apart from that, why am I trying to design a robot while doing this? It's a JRPG. They're going to reuse assets, right? So here's another robot in the same production line as Gabe. Not actually Gabe. This is Mickey. Mickey Michael and Gabe Gabriel. Indeed. But Mrs. the X. How to draw without construction? Guess could do some Easter eggs in this, couldn't we? Eee. Twitch man. Yeah, no, my bitrate's been good. This is entirely on Twitch today. Ah, dear. So like with Frame Man, at least I think, you know, oh, I really should properly get like a wired connection up and running, even though the actual router's on the complete other side of the house and there's a massive wire I have to do. You have to rip up floorboards. It's like, but ultimately it's my fault for being too lazy to do that and all that sort of stuff. With Twitch Man, I just feel bad. Can't do anything. And this is where we get full confirmation in the story that robots are in fact magical. Remember at one point we had this idea that, like, oh, the train is so technologically out of reach of this civilization, but because it was sort of a familiar for the person who made it, because they put so much love into it, it was technically magical. And now we just got, like, thousands and hundreds of magical robots. Hooray. Twitchman is just here to ruin everyone's day. It's the price you pay for entry, unfortunately. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine. Yeah, so we have a little montage of things coming back to life. After the Foom, the Grand Foom. Oh, that could be the name of, like, an ability of Shrimp God, Shwimp. The Grand Foom. I always like there's a recurring attack in the Final Fantasy series of final bosses called the Grand Cross, which I think is the name of a constellation. And I always quite like that, because it's always weird. It's just a weird attack. So I like the Grand Foom. Logical consistency in the world of 16 simples, you wish. So different at the very, very start, yeah. How things change. Projects never end up the way you think they're gonna. Yeah, so that happens. It does. Believe me. Should I properly demarcate these drawings? Probably should. Oh, yeah, that wasn't intentional, but it looks nice. Neat. Brad wasn't so beaten down yet. Don't worry, because the next thing I'm going to draw is Brad in a bakery, helping people out. So now we cut to, like, a month later or something. What's a good time frame? 6 weeks later? I don't know. I don't know why I made a new folder for this. It's just a drawing. We can have like another split screen thing. What are they doing now? 6.5 weeks later. 73 days later. 12 3/4 fortnights later. Isn't that about the time between now and Christmas? Yeah, sort of. Welcome to Christmas and 16 Symbols. Where they celebrate their true creator, Christmas. I'm saying it with a P, but because of my accent, you can't really hear it. So, Christmas isn't real. It can't hurt you. Don't remind people of Christmas, miss. Don't post pictures of naked men made out of cat hair, miss. It's not really the nakedity that bothered me. It was basically everything else. Right. So. Yes. No, hang on. I should do this. Whoops. Forgot I had that from the planet. This is what I like about my bot posting hearts whenever anyone posts hearts. It makes it look like I'm joining in. Whereas I have no idea what's actually happening. You're just trying not to think of some deadlines for art. There is no deadline for art. You cannot rush art. The sound of crispy concentrating is scratchy scratches. I'll bring the microphone closer so you can hear the scratchy scratches. I used to have the microphone here. Oh, hey, Frame Man's here as well. Yay! That one was Frame Man, okay? Everybody pay attention. That one was Frame Man. I used to have the microphone here for streams in general. It used to be standard microphone placement, and then I realized I could probably put it further away, to be honest. It doesn't have to be quite this close. If you have fought the optional god of optional boss of East God in this game by this point, then the bread that is being made here is massive. But if you haven't, it's just normal bread. The proportions are almost not horrifying. Proportions are fake anyway. It's fine. Feed the entire city so big. Brad'll do that anyway, it's fine. Stoker's helping. She's not gonna stoke a train, you can stoke a bakery. Sometimes helping people get to where they're going to involves helping them get a place to go to. And sometimes it involves massive goggles that look weird. Again, imagine this was good. It would be nice, it'd be touching. Be great. Bet your loaf could fit into the air pockets of such bread. He used to God makes many air pockets. Sometimes helping people get where they need to go means feeding them with bread. Just a little pop-up stall somewhere. Let's cut away so we can see what's going on. They've been so ready to deliver the bread. So I'm gone. Also, maybe Colin has little arms now. Yeah. Extra magic. Oh god, I've got more drawings to do. I split this into 4 for some reason. Who are they serving? I don't know. Also, what's everyone else doing while I'm doing this? Food. Fool's getting food. Gotta remember how to draw foo now. He had a little tough to fare, didn't he? Ooh, help, where are you? Okay, yeah, there's got like a mohawk thing going on. More goggles. Ah, foo and Miss Baker. Mrs. Baker. Was it Baker? I remember the name. I think it was. Oh no, I just got rid of my drawing of foo. Oh god, I've got more drawings to do. God, what a mood. Kiro, you need to learn to say no. You need to learn to say, there's only so much I can do, and I want to be happy doing it. You're fine, Fire. Gotta get the good drawings up of friends. Not of friends, by friends that made the good drawings. So that I know what characters look like. Oh, look at that. Anime mouth. Bigger jaw. Yeah, it's better. So you are having fun even if it's frustrating and very stressful at the time. No, you've been a horrible influence. You have infected me with anime. Got type 1 diaweebus. That's almost a pun. It was all you didn't get infected with it either. It was whatever. I don't know what pose she's doing. Go with the classic. The classic that I can't draw. Today's not a detail day. Today is a let's get the rough gist of it down and move on day. Also can't remember what how Fu dresses. I guess it doesn't matter too much. Miss Baker's also using a massive hammer to clear rubble. Why did that tickle you so much? I don't know, but I apologize. No. Just remember. Yeah, there we go. I think he's wearing an apron as well. Also, perspective. Why are you not? Okay, I might have to abandon this whole 4 drawing idea. It's the last stream. You should probably draw the main character. Yes, yes. Because I think, I mean, Mo would be helping out, obviously, but I think Mo in the final cutscene might be elsewhere. Wick was supposed to cut the bread. Wick has now stolen bread. Wick doesn't eat. And he'll probably just throw it at somebody the first opportunity. He's just here for chaos. They're like, hey Wick, you have a knife? You got a very good knife. Do you want to cut bread? And Wick got as far as cut before he agreed. Didn't really pay attention to what was actually happening. Wick just burns the bread above his candle until it gets hard enough to throw at Grigori's head. Yeah, I'll go with that. The one with Mo shouldn't take too long, so we'll just get rid of this optimistic order. Gil's probably with the rest of the mushroom friends. Maybe like the mushroom friends and the villagers. Oh, hello. Rayman, please. The mushroom friends and the villagers are all sort of together because they live near each other. And so like Jethro and Gil are introducing everybody to one another. And maybe Viv's there. Again, we can come up with a good way to make it so that all the characters are there. Alas, I have no time. So we get what we get. I like the idea of Peridot and Bramble sort of reuniting with their respective clans because they both lived by the beach. That works. Maybe like Bran and Gabe are both there for a holiday because they need a holiday. Gil is playing bridge with Viv. And the bridge trolls are there as well. They weren't enemies, they just wanted somebody to play cards. I don't know what Onion and Grigori are up to. Poison Nurse. What? Okay, Poison Nurse. Poison Nurse presumably... Actually, no, let's have Poison Nurse and Mo be together. I can incorporate that. That's fine. Um. Onion and Grigori have set up a side hustle. Fair enough, welcome to all the hippo cultists back in the temple. Sure enough, how good a job she did taking care of it. Yeah. Did great. And meeting up with Manny again. Because I've just remembered that she had a mannequin friend. Everyone is very proud. So... Ah, bugger, I thought I'd have like a bunch of drawings and then I just do one quick one and then the end one. Gregorian Onion, set up a side hustle. You heard me. Brand's chilling on the beach. You deserve this. And then Gabe throws a frisbee at their head. These are all drawings I should be doing rather than talking about them. You know what? Let's just try and make the last drawing nice. Well, actually, I could do like... I don't know. I was thinking of doing like a front view and then like sunset view from behind, silhouette. So let's do front view. Probably should be doing this in a thickness of brush you can see. Poison Nurse is in prison? No! Poison Nurse helped save the world. Their intention was not to destroy the world. Their intention was to get a lot of magical power. Possibly by taking it from things that are already living. It's fine, don't worry about it. JRPGs are all about forgiveness. Or whatever. The backpack is off. The journey is over. Finally. Mo now has recurring back problems. Also, with Gregorian Onion having set up a side hustle, does that mean Onion and Whip are gonna have broken into Gregori's apartment and decided to live there? Because you're all for making Gregori's life as chaotic as possible. I think Gregori has an awful lot of say in anything that Wick chooses to do, so sure. If you draw eyes on the face without really fixing the structure of the face, it always looks weird. Or it's too big in my opinion, or in my personal experience. By the way, I should probably put the microphone further back now. Granted, that is basically the only audio happening right now. We've got a very quiet Ziegler piece of music. And the scratchy scratching of stylus on the thing. On the tablet. Oh, it's finally through. I was considering having the hair be really flat. I was like, how long have you been wearing that hat for? I had half imagined that she would have taken off her boots and just having sort of like dipping her feet in the pond, but a bit weird to draw like bare feet or something at the end of the stream. Drawing so hard, my stylus has developed a lump. The little rubber bits sticking up. Bonk is tiny, like shrimp, and sits on Mo's head. I was okay. So my thinking was, it's too short. My thinking was if there's enough remnants left over of Shwimp, not to be Shwimp anymore, but to be a shrimp, put inside a shrimp, then you know, we had this random hippo at the beginning of the story who turns out not to be a familiar. I'm sure there's enough of Grandma Bonk to go into the hippo. So I thought we'd have a little thing of... I've now got to remember how to draw hippos. This is always my downfall. Grandma hippo. So I was like, I know who you are. Flo knows. Flo's wise. Maybe. Hang on. 1 second. A little flower on its head. Akin to Grandma Bonk. The flower on her hat. A Bonk and Hippo's minds intertwined. I don't know. Don't know what happens to the Hippo. Don't ask questions, it's fine. The Hippo is floating around in the void with Grandma Bonk's body. Oh, it's nice. Okay, I don't know quite how we're gonna sort of phrase this, sort of set this out per se. But I like the idea of Mo being like, look, none of us really understood properly what was going on here. And I know you've got this whole jealousy thing of what I know versus what I got versus what you got. So hey, I don't have a mentor anymore. How about I teach you what I know? And then they can work together and do good things. Facing that way slightly. What's perspective? I don't know. What's wrong with a good old, you know, I can redeem this villain story. Because, I mean, Poison Nurse had her own things going on, you know? Certainly wouldn't say she was blameless, but... Corey reported her to their mum and that was punishment. Yeah. Family holidays are going to be awkward now. Because guess every time they're going to bring up, hey, do you remember that time you tried to take over the world? I didn't try to take over the world. It's not what it was. Pay attention. I said sorry. If I wanted to have taken over the world, I would have taken over the world. Just because some of you can't hold down a job. Because, I mean, technically, Grigori et al. Are unemployed now. So... They found the cat! Let me entertain you. Scribble, scribble, scribble. Trying to give her simultaneously the problem child and the least problematic child. That seems very apt. I knew that was too much to ask. The mother, knowing their child looks worryingly, leered the box for bloodstains. The great thing about finding bloodstains on something that Schrodinger's brought in is there's half a chance of someone else's, but also half a chance that it's his. Schrodinger is nothing if not ambivalent. God, I did a bad job clearing this up, didn't I? My word. Honestly, somebody would think I'm on a time limit or something. Oops. That one got caught in the melee of Phil Bucket. Gotta be careful about his bucket. So did that one. Oh no. Because these were the important things. The lily pads. Also, that backpack is huge! Should have settled in the perspective before drawing it. But it's sort of there. So, given that the 16 symbols is ending, how did everybody think it went? What did you like? What didn't you like? What could have been done better? Well, we're going to do something like this again. How would you change things? Or would you keep the same? Flo's on lily pad. Flo's a frog. Likes being on lily pads. Been sat on a hat for God knows how long. Kind of like a big lily pad, but it's not the same, you know? Poison Nurse's proportions are all over the place here. Poison Nurse touches hands together when nervous, yeah. Or plotting. She gets very nervous when plotting. I should probably... They have a certain level of self-confidence, but... That's over here as well. Well, I was going to do another version of this from behind with, like, sunset and the two of them sort of silhouetted, having a chat. Maybe, like, we see Poison Nurse take off her mask, but we don't see the face. Something like that. But... Also, Flo's tiny here. Again, this is what happens when you don't plan things out. Blip, blip, blip. Twitchman, don't interrupt the moment. How dare! You'll be no help because you loved everything. I'm glad. Well, I can think of one thing that you should suggest, and that is more Kajiro. Better perspective. Yeah. Ideas of things sticking out of the water. Yeah, Bob Ross. I think Flo might be the size they were in the beginning. Who knows? Just the idea of these two learning from each other. Poison Nurse learning from Mo and feeling more at peace because of it. Mo learning from Poison Nurse because turned out Poison Nurse knows a lot. They're staying in a little house near the pond where the mysterious hippo watches over them, knowing it's gonna be alright. Yeah! That's nice. Nice ending. We have to make Poison Nurse less evil. I feel like that happened over the course of the story. It became more and more apparent that Poison Nurse was malicious, but wasn't malicious for the sake of maliciousness. I feel like maybe we could add, like, a pseudo-mentor, unless it's Wick. Wick isn't malicious, Wick is just here for chaos. Difference between chaos and evil. You know, maybe we could add, like, a pseudo-mentor for, Poison Nurse. That sort of takes advantage of her sort of desire for equality, the desire for, you know, she feels sort of shortchanged, feels sort of, you know, she deserves better, what it does. And they took advantage of that and said, I can use this for my purposes. Maybe they were a shrimp cultist. And that's how she got embroiled in that whole thing. Not really knowing what was going on, just being told, this is how you can gain power by doing this, 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 and this. Again, evil, but good work. Look at me hypothesizing about what to do with this story that just ended. That's 16 symbols. There's a lot more than 16, turns out. Quite a few. I don't know how many there are. I guess on average, like 4 or 5 per thing. So that's 120-ish. Yeah. 32 streams. Double 16. That's quite nice. And we got a nice big party of characters at the end. Almost forgot Bramble, but they're there. You're trying your best not to cry. Oh. I'm glad people enjoy this nonsense I come up with. I do always feel like I can do better by that. You know, I wanted to do a lot of stuff with this. I wanted to do lots of videos of designing monsters and characters and silly weapons and doing other stories and actually updating the story on my website because I think I got to the 10th column and stopped. But yeah, I think this was a good time. The person in Poison Nurse, in Poison Nurse and Viv's relationship. Yeah, the connection between Poison Nurse and Viv probably needs having that third component, that third cog will probably help that scan a bit better. And that could also have a good explanation as to how Viv, because Viv's whole thing was sort of, you know, overreaching because they thought they deserved better. And, you know, like I say, they did deserve better, but they were coerced into thinking that they could get better by making things worse for others, etc., etc. And then we could have a theme, which could probably, if you're clever, connect to the whole theme of, you know, Brad's whole thing of like, to be a hero, you don't need to ruin other people's lives. Turns out to be a villain, you don't need to ruin other people's lives, etc., etc. More themes! Just an extension of this big theme ball. It's the goop ball with all the theme tendrils coming off of it. See, even that's thematic, turns out. I've just found a mosquito bite on my back. That's annoying. Yeah. And there we go. That was 16 symbols. I hope you enjoyed. I hope any of it made sense. Goop theme. Goop theme. Music. I was going to do music as well. It's another thing I was going to do. One day. Yeah. That's that. So, it's not the end of 16 symbols in a sense. It's the end of the story, basically. Love this so much. I'm glad. When I start these, I have no idea whether anyone's gonna find any interest in it at all. I'm glad people do. Or I'm glad when people do. I thought this was more successful than the Citadel of Chaos at the very least. Even if it did go on twice as long. Hey, King Vader. This is the thing, this went on twice as long and it didn't feel like it dragged as much. So, there were some dips. Tuesdays, it turns out, not my highest energy day. There we go. But yeah, I could definitely have brought more enthusiasm to the streams, etc., etc. But I think we did well. I think for a silly premise, of randomly generating a story as we go, I think this came out well. We come up with a bunch of characters we liked, a bunch of story beats that actually made sense, eventually. As Ragdoll says, what is the amulet? What did that do? Where did that come from? How did it work? I don't know. It just helped us find a shrine. But yeah, so the plan is that next week we had a silly premise, we made some silly characters, and it all turned out better than in Final Fantasy VIII, and that's all we could hope for. You loved Citadel of Chaos, just ended up not being able to attend earlier. Oh. Maybe we'll do another one of those. I always wanted to write one of those, but, like, design it to be more interesting for stream, because there's a I'm not going to get into this. There's a way of writing choose your own adventure stories so that you can release it in HTML, so I could put it up on a website and people could play it. And I always wanted to do one of those, but again, that's another project that got put to the side with 100 other projects. Next week or this week, because Dishonored is still... I don't know. I guess it makes sense to keep this week as is. Because, well, like I say, I was expecting to do Dishonored this Saturday, but... yeah, should we say... I mean, worst comes to worst, we could do it on Sunday. Because it would be a thing with a bunch of people on stream chatting and doing stuff. We could use that to replace the Sunday stream. So what we'll say is this week we'll carry on as normal. So Wednesday and Saturday, game stream. Sunday, doodle stream. Or maybe we can take over this Sunday doodle stream, do that then. I don't know, we'll talk about it. Should probably explain what I'm talking about. We're thinking of doing a few streams where we go over the story of 16 Symbols and just thrash out some of the bits that didn't make sense, invent new story beats, like we are just now with saying, oh, maybe there's somebody behind Poison Nurse who was actually their mentor, etc., etc. Coming up with these ideas, gluing things together, developing characters that got forgotten, and all that sort of stuff. Fixing it in post. We'll do a few streams of fixing it in post, just to really sort of sand the edges, and make it so that it actually is significantly superior to Final Fantasy VIII. So yeah, so maybe we'll do that this Sunday or next Saturday or next Sunday. Either way, tomorrow and Saturday will be more Inscription, jump like that, and at some point in the near future, which I'll put in the Discord for plans and stuff, we'll be moving Tuesday streams to Saturday or Sunday or whatever, so that people can come on and have doodly chit chats about how things are going to work, and how to make things better and all these sorts of things. Yeah, so anyone who wants to have a chit chat, and I'll probably be doodling while it happens. Maybe we'll do it in Aggie.io, and then everyone can doodle together. Who knows? I have to design Yeast God at some point, so we'll probably do that. As well as other bit pops. Yes. You want to chit chat? Yeah, that's why I want to do it the weekend, so that people can be, you know, not at work when these things are happening. Yeah, and then Tuesdays will become game streams, and I'll talk about it more in the future once we work out what's actually happening. For now, though, tomorrow is Inscription. Thursday, I assume, will be a chibi stream. Saturday is more Inscription. Sunday will be some sort of doodles with friends. Yeah. And that's all she wrote. I'm now gonna back up this file. I'm gonna back up all. How big is this thing? Oh, for some reason it just jumped over there. It's a bit weird. 720 megabytes. There's a 720 megabyte file, which honestly is like a painting with a time lapse. It's not that bad. Because it's been 100 years since the last murder, and now they're happening all. Yes. Chibi is playing a wonderfully bizarre game about the first murder in a century, and being able to look into people's eyes on their foreheads and discover that they are, in fact, egotistical. Angela Lansbury, yes. That's all she wrote. Murder. She just wrote the word murder over and over again. It was a bestseller. Yeah. I always feel like these things are an anticlimax. Whenever we do an end to a long... We've been doing this for 32 weeks. This started in March. It's been a year-long project. And it's still not over, because I still want to do renders of all the characters and the bosses and make music for it. and all these sorts of things. And by the time I finish all that, we'll probably be halfway through the draw through after next. Oh yeah, that's another thing I wanted to say. So the next draw through, after we've done with all the rewrites, I'm going to do a quick draw through of BioShock Infinite. Because it's been a while since we've done a draw through of just a game. It's been 33 weeks, roughly. And that shouldn't take very long. It's quite a short story, all things considered. Oh, I forgot I added that one. How quick? I'm going to say like 6 or 7 streams. Shouldn't be too long, all things considered. Oh! I don't know. Don't ask me. Yeah, so it shouldn't be too long, all things considered. But then after that, what I would like to do is get a bunch of people together, and then we'll do like a thing. I need to find a snappier way of explaining what this is. But basically, I like the idea of us all getting together to design things in a game, where we all get our own zone in the game, but we pass our zones around, and everybody designs stuff for each other's zones, as it were. So characters and enemies and places, either through writing or doodling or whatever, and lots of people could be on stream if they want, or they could do it off stream. Which is the thing where lots of people can get involved in collectively designing a world of a game. Sort of inspired by things like Zelda or Death's Door was the thing that sort of gave me that idea of it has those 3 distinct zones that all had their own interesting designs and personalities, but together they made a world. You know what I mean? It's going to be the most chaotic world, absolutely. Well, the idea was based on a spin-off of the Citadel of Chaos that I was going to do, where I was going to say, hey, you know all those monsters in the mountain that we just sort of left behind? What if they made a civilization? We can all design that. But as time went on, I thought it'd be better to do something from scratch, and have a more concrete sort of structure to proceedings, so people know, you know, everything will be a prompt. You don't have to follow the prompt if you want. You can just design stuff. Can you have comfort zone? You're all snuggled up and don't want to get out. Absolutely fair. You can have the comfy hub world or whatever. We'll sort it all out. Everyone gets their own zone. They can work out what it is, and then we'll mash them together like a child who doesn't understand how jigsaws work, and we'll make it fit. So yeah, these are the plans for the future. Eventually we'll get to them at some point, maybe, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Until then, Inscription. I don't know what that's going to entail. Let's find out. Thank you everyone for coming along. Thank you everyone who designed characters for this and came up with ideas for stories. I do appreciate all the input, and I love seeing all your characters and ideas. As I say, I designed this draw through to work even if nobody could have come to the stream, but it's always infinitely better when people do and they suggest ideas and join in, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah, plans for 2022. Fingers crossed. I found my plans for 2021 the other day, and I think I've done 2 of them. One of them being this. So, you know, these things happen. On your own, you could never have come up with Shwimper. Absolutely not. Shwimper would never have happened. In the slightest. And for that, I am grateful. It was a collective effort. Indeed. We all worked together to design Shwimper. I would have liked to have, you know, made a better visual design, but they look nice. That's what the previous form is for. Lots of weird moving parts and looking intimidating and strange. Yeah. Thank you everyone, both for coming to the stream and coming to the past 32 streams, because there was a character design one at the start. Yeah, thanks everyone who contributed. We'll be back with rewrites. the most fun part of creating. Rewriting. It'll be fun. I'll do stupid doodles. It'll be grand. Thank you to Adrian von Ziegler for the Wonderful soundtrack, as always. Thank you to Frame Man for popping by. Hi, how you doing? You having a good day? Good? Yeah? No, you're just taking the stream completely offline. What timing? What absolutely excellent timing. I'm going to leave before Frame Man just axes this. Which, I mean, maybe they're saying, you know, you're rambling for too long. Which is fair. I've been rambling for 15 minutes. Yeah. Thanks. I'm bad at endings. Mo the Force be with you. Mo the Flow be with you. Mo with the Flow. Is that Mo's nickname? That should be Mo's nickname. Took 32 streams to come up with that. Bye!